Hi, today's garage conversion task is to seal this dusty concrete floor. Now to seal it, we're just going to use 1 or 2 coats of basic PVA glue, watered down with some water. The stuff I've got here says it can be watered down 8 to 1. It's worth noting, this is probably a shoddy way of doing it. I've seen loads of YouTube videos where they go and rent some big grinder and they flatten the floor down so it's really smooth and then seal it. That'd be great if you're going to use resin floor paint, like the kind of stuff you get in a school gym. But I'm going to be using some PVC flooring tiles that connect together kind of like a jigsaw. So in my use case, I'm just using the PVA glue to seal the concrete floor, to stop it dusting, and to kind of level it so the tiles go down nice. But it's worth noting that this won't be particularly hard wearing. If you're going to walk on this a lot with just PVA glue, it will wear away in time. So I'd highly recommend looking at some kind of resin floor paint, as that can be really reasonably priced. That's enough chit chat, let's get started. The first thing you're going to have to do is completely wash the floor. Now I did this in a weekend when I washed my walls and my floor together, so let's cut back some footage of that.
Let's go.
I started by sweeping up as much of the loose dust as I could.
Look at it all.
And that amount was from just one corner.
Well, now it's finally time to clean the floor. I've got my bucket of warm soapy water, got my big broom and my little broom. Got to decide which one's going to work best.
I started out only using small amounts of water here, but that soon escalated and I was pouring it down by the bucket.
I think the small broom in the corners and the big broom in the middle is definitely the way to go.
See what I mean by the bucket load?
I'll just scrub it this way.
If you're planning to seal an area that has been exposed to oil, then you'll probably need to take care of that during this stage as well. If you don't, it may affect the PVA glue or maybe even epoxy resin from setting correctly in those areas.
Bucket of fresh warm water this time. Get rid of all these suds, and then I can say I'm half done.
I'd been using normal washing up liquid throughout, so I thought I'd better rinse it all off in case it stopped the PVA glue sticking correctly.
Oh, it's over. It's finished. So I've done both halves now, and I've also put 1 bucket of clean water over everything, scrubbed all that, and then I've gone painstakingly from the back all the way to the front, trying to scrub up as much moisture as I can so there's as little as possible to dry in these cold January months? Days, I guess. And that brings us back to here. Now it is a few weeks later and it is completely dry now. Since then though, quite a few leaves have blown in under from my garage door and it is quite dusty again.
So a final once over was needed before the floor was ready to go. Quite a small pile compared to last time. I did try and use our house hoover here, but that would have scratched it right up, which my girlfriend would have been none too pleased with.
Now let's mix up our PVA glue solution. In my bucket I've got 8 litres of water. I'm going to add about 1, maybe a little bit over litres of PVA glue. I've got my stirring stick ready. And let's mix it up. Now we've got this lovely looking white mixture. I'm going to pour it evenly over the concrete floor and then try and scrub it in and even it out with my big brush. Let's see how it goes. To help it dry, I'm trying to scrape it quite thin. Might actually go a lot further than I was expecting. Like 1 bucket might do it, I thought I'd need 2. It's a lot easier just to glide the brush along. We're not trying to scrub it clean, we're just trying to spread the liquid out. already starting to dry at the back. I'm doing this front lip a little thicker because it will dry a lot easier because it's outside and it gets a lot of rain and the new PVC tiles won't go there. Well, there we go, all nice and evenly distributed. I didn't need as much as I had. I think for a single car garage, 6 litres of water and PVA glue would be plenty. So don't mix up as much as I did because I've now got to throw this away and waste it. It looks like the back is already starting to dry, which is fantastic. So hopefully the rest of it will be dry by this afternoon because I have made a little bit of a boo-boo and left my lighting battery pack in the middle, so now I can't get it without leaving footprints. So hopefully a cat doesn't walk on this and I'll get that out later. Well, it's now the next weekend. It's dried out pretty well over this week. I've had the garage door open most days to let it dry out. I've just finished doing a 3rd coat of paint, but that's a whole other video and I'm not doing another one because my wrists are killing me. After the first coat of sealer, the floor now is actually great. There's hardly any dust coming off to the touch now. And I'm hoping after our 2nd coat, it's going to be absolutely perfect and ready for me to put the flooring tiles down. First things first though, I've got to sweep up all these leaves which have blown in over the week. Just after that little quick brush up, you can tell how much better it is straight away because there isn't hardly any dust coming off the floor now compared to before when it was terrible. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, so last time I mixed up too much liquid, so I've got less water in my bucket this time so we won't have any waste. But I am going to make the mix a bit spicier and put some more PVA glue in because I think I know better than the people who wrote the instructions. So rather than 1 litre, I'm going to use 2. Right, let's get some good music on and start scrubbing again. I must remember not to touch the walls. I want to make sure I get good coverage in the corners because they're going to be the only areas actually exposed once I get the flooring tiles down because I need to leave a few mil gap for expansion. So I really want to ensure that dust can't come up through the edge, which is why I've also kind of put paint down there to edge my beds. You really don't have to push, you just have to spread the water and glue around. You know, I think that second lot went on a lot better actually. I'm not sure if it's because I had already put 1 coat of seal on or if it was because double glue, but it was a lot easier to apply. Well, the last bit to do now is this bit on the outside. Because it's not going to have any protection from a flooring tile or the door, I'm going to add a little bit more glue, hopefully making that a bit more hard wearing. If you were going to do this, 6 litres of fluid is definitely plenty for a single garage. Well, that'll do for a few hours. I'll let it dry and come back and see how it's going. Though I have, again, left the battery for my lights up in the rafters. So it's gonna go a bit flat, never mind. All right, so it's a few hours later, late at night now. Got all my junk back in the garage. My battery pack up there is nearly flat, so we came back in the nick of time. Floor's kind of drying, it's a lot colder now. I did do this later in the evening, I guess. But the walls look like they've dried perfectly, so yeah, got that going for me, which is nice. Well, here we are, another week later. It's now all dry and totally dust-free. After my first coat, it was still quite rough to the touch, but after that second coat with a slightly thicker amount of PVA glue, it is actually quite smooth to the touch. And with that, I think we're finally done. Well, thanks for watching this video, which is about 75% of me scrubbing a floor. If you try this yourself, best of luck, and I hope it goes well. Well, I better crack on with this weekend's task, which is going to be laying these PVC flooring tiles. A giant yet really easy jigsaw puzzle. If you want to see me lay those flooring tiles, then check out the video over here. And if you want to see more of me brushing things, check out me painting the walls over here. Thanks for watching.